The house stood on a hill, looming over the small town below. It had been there for as long as anyone could remember, a silent sentinel watching over the years. It was old and grey, with paint peeling off its weathered walls. Vines, thick and twisted, covered its surface, giving it an almost lifelike appearance. The windows were dark eyes, staring out into the world with a haunting emptiness. They seemed to follow you, no matter where you stood.
Do you think it's haunted? The question hung in the air, filled with a mix of fear and curiosity.
Only one way to find out. The brave kid's voice was steady, masking the nervous excitement bubbling inside.
They crept up the path, each step crunching on the gravel, hearts pounding in their chests. The air was thick with anticipation. The door creaked open as if inviting them in, its hinges groaning in protest. The sound echoed through the stillness, sending shivers down their spines. Inside, dust swirled in the air, illuminated by the faint light filtering through the grimy windows. Cobwebs hung from the ceiling like ghostly decorations, untouched for years.
Come on, Lily, we can do this,
he said, his voice hushed, as if sharing a secret only they could understand. They tiptoed into the house, their hearts pounding with excitement and a hint of fear.
Did you hear that?
The floorboards groaned under their feet, each step echoing in the silent house. Each room was filled with shadows casting eerie shapes on the walls, but Tommy and Lily weren't afraid. Not really. They had each other, and that was enough. They found a grand staircase, its wooden steps winding up into the unknown.
Let's go upstairs. We might find something amazing up there.
Lily hesitated but followed her brother, her curiosity overcoming her fear. The adventure was just beginning, and they were ready to face whatever came next. The upstairs hallway was long and dark, filled with shadows. Portraits of stern-looking people lined the walls, watching silently. Tommy and Lily walked slowly, their footsteps echoing.
What was that?
She breathed. Tommy listened intently, heart pounding. The whisper came again, soft and mournful, chilling.
I think something needs our help,
he said, his voice trembling slightly. They followed the sound to a room at the end of the hall. The children, curious and a bit apprehensive, tiptoed quietly, their hearts pounding with each step. The sound grew louder, a soft, eerie melody that seemed to beckon them closer. They exchanged nervous glances but continued on, driven by an unspoken agreement to uncover the source of the mysterious noise. The door creaked open, revealing a dusty old nursery. The room looked like it hadn't been touched in years, with cobwebs hanging from the ceiling and dust covering every surface. Toys lay scattered on the floor, forgotten and forlorn. The air was thick with the scent of age and neglect, making the children hesitate for a moment before stepping inside. A rocking horse stood frozen in mid-rock. It was as if time had stopped in this room, preserving a moment from the past. The horse's paint was chipped and its mane was tangled, but it still held a certain charm. The children couldn't help but feel a sense of sadness as they looked at it, imagining the joy it once brought to a child long ago. And then they saw it. In the dim light, something moved in the corner of the room. The children gasped, their eyes widening in surprise and fear. They took a step back, unsure of what they were seeing. But their curiosity got the better of them, and they slowly inched closer to get a better look. A creature made of shadows huddled in the corner. It was unlike anything they had ever seen before, a dark, amorphous figure that seemed to blend into the shadows around it. The creature shivered, as if it were cold or frightened, and the children felt a pang of sympathy for it. It looked up at them with large, sad eyes. The eyes were the only part of the creature that seemed solid, and they were filled with a deep, sorrowful expression. The children felt their fear melt away, replaced by a desire to help this strange, sad being. Tommy stepped forward. He was the bravest of the group, always the first to face any challenge. He took a deep breath and approached the creature, his heart pounding in his chest. The other children watched in awe, admiring his courage.
Don't be afraid. We're here to help. Tommy's voice was gentle and reassuring, and the creature seemed to relax a little at his words. The other children gathered around, offering their support and comfort. They knew they had to do something to help this poor, lost soul.
The shadow creature trembled. It was clear that it was scared and alone, and the children's kindness was starting to break through its fear. The creature's form seemed to shift and waver, as if it were trying to decide whether to trust them. It reached out a wispy hand. The hand was barely more than a shadow itself, but it was a gesture of trust. The children reached out in return, their hands meeting the creature's in a moment of connection and understanding.
I've lost my voice. The creature's voice was a soft whisper, barely audible but filled with emotion. It was clear that this was the source of its sorrow, and the children felt a renewed determination to help. Can you help me find it? The children nodded eagerly, ready to embark on a new adventure to help their new friend. They knew it wouldn't be easy, but they were determined to do whatever it took to restore the creature's voice and bring back its happiness.